Yo, what's going on, guys? Versal here, and today I'm gonna be doing a Fiendsmith Dinosaur discussion video, going over kind of how this engine can be used in the Dino deck. I'm sure you guys are probably somewhat familiar with these cards already because of how broken they are, and pretty much any deck can use them because of the genericness of them and the fact that they printed all these cards with no restrictions at all, which I think is pretty dumb, but it is what it is. These cards are good in Dino, just like they are in pretty much everything else. Can be used for consistency for now before a ban list. I'm assuming Beatrice gets banned, but if that happens, it stops being a consistency tool for a lot of the non-Fiend decks. But otherwise, these cards are still good to be able to bridge into and make your combos better or more resilient if you end up with like two bodies after getting hand trapped. Can sort of pivot to something different. And the main thing for this engine in Dinos is it can give you a way to beat cards like Dark Ruler and Droplet, which I think is like the biggest issues for going first Dinos a lot of the time. So the fact that this package gives you a way to do that is really big. And you only technically need to be running one Fiendsmith engraver in order to do that. So that's definitely something to keep in mind if you don't want to buy like the full package, or can only get your hands on one engraver, because the cards are very expensive. So I don't really blame anybody for not picking them up, but I don't even have them at the moment, and I'm not sure if I'm going to bother getting them. Just kind of waiting for a ban list for buying new stuff and just sort of everything, because the game's in a weird space right now until the ban list, since we're all kind of waiting for that. But before I get into the video, if you're interested in this Dinosaur playmat or these sleeves, check out finalsaga.de, and if you decide to buy anything, use my code Versal10 for 10% off your order. It helps me directly. They have other matte sleeves, deck boxes, binders, etc. over there. They have a cool anime Orca set, which has like these gold-plated god cards, and then it has like the Orca decks. So like these are pretty cool. There's one for YUGIOH, Kaiba, and Merrick. Comes with these deck boxes as well. And there's a purple playmat that comes with it as well if you get the set. These like anime sleeves. So it's a pretty cool product that they have. They got a lot of cool stuff over there. Definitely check them out. So with that being said, get right into the discussion. So like I already mentioned, these cards can be used as a consistency tool, or just to make your inboards a little better, but the main way you use it as consistency is through Beatrice. So the main thing this can do is if you have a baby already, and then you can get to, like if you have a Fiendsmith card, you can get it to the Beatrice and then dump like the Misk, and then like banish Misk, do your Dino combo. Those lines are pretty fragile, since like you never want to be like dumping Misk, but that's like the worst case scenario that you can access it. Another thing these cards can do, depending on some things that you play in your deck, they can turn certain things into a one card combo, like Obi for example. Say you decide to play a like Doodle Stego or Gillosaurus, like the same thing, just card that Obi can search and then get you a free body. If you do that, you can turn the two bodies into the Closed Moon. And then this gets you into the Link 1. And then the Link 1 summons you the Engraver. So you can say I don't actually have the card. But this thing, you can discard it from hand to add a spell, which is what you do when you open the card, and another one card combos. You can use this to get into a rank 6, and then yeah, well, I'm gonna do that in a second actually, but yeah, so you summon that from deck with this, and then we're gonna use another TCG exclusive with the Necro Crypt. So first you want to use this to equip to this, and then you can use the equip and the monster to go into the Necro Crypt. So this card's effect doesn't really matter, it's just a Link 1 essentially. And then you can use the Engrave to shuffle back one of your Light Fiends, gonna be the Moon, to get this back, and then now you have two level 6s, and can make your rank 6. So with the 1-card combo, you're gonna go into the M7. And what this card lets you do is it detaches the engraver, and then you can add the engraver back to your hand. So now you can use the hand effect to discard it and add a Tractus. And then the Tractus is going to add you a Light Fiend, and then you discard a card. So you're going to add the Larry, discard the Larry, then the Larry's going to special itself. So now you have these two, and then you can start going into some other plays. You're going to link these two off into sequence. Then the sequence is going to let you shuffle 2 back. We're going to shuffle back the Larry and the Requiem to make Lacrimosa. And then this effect is going to resummon the engraver. Then you could overlay these two for Beatrice. And Beatrice, detach 1. And this is where some of the other cards come into play. Move this over. So you're going to Beatrice dump the Evil Tile Mega Chirlia. So this works better if you're playing like the Wanted cards and stuff as well, which those are getting reprinted soon. So assuming certain things don't get hit, like Wanted to 1 or something along those lines, this could be a good thing to play. It's just more like extenders in the deck, and it can help give you like more layering as well. But so when you dump this, now this is in the grave, then you're going to use these two to go into a Princess, and the Princess can bring back the Mega Chirlia, so now you can use its effect. So this thing lets you tribute a reptile, then discard a card, and then you special level 6 or lower fire Dinosaur from your deck. So you're gonna tribute this, discard a card, and then you can summon Leos from deck. And Leos has a cool effect that when it's normal or special, you can set and Evo Singularity from your deck. And then it has another effect that during the main phase, you can use it to dump a fire reptile or dinosaur. So what we're gonna do is use this to dump the Misk. So now that you got that out of the way, we're just gonna link these two off into an Amblo Whale. So this is just gonna give you a disruption through the Princess. You can pop this, and then when this is in the grave, if like the Princess gets hit by something, this is like another pop, so it's not bad. And then you can use the Misk to banish like 2 of your dinos. And then in the end phase, this is gonna get destroyed and can summon you a Pank. So just off the 1 Ovi, if you're playing like the evil stuff in the deck, you end with pop here, Singularity, which can get you into 2 more negates, and then you have another pop here. So it's like a decent amount of stuff off 1 card. I don't know if it's like worth playing, like the Doodle Stego or like the evil stuff. Like if you're not playing like the Wanted stuff especially, I don't think you really need to be playing the evil package, but it's just like a thing that you can do. So I figured I'd show it. Another like 1 card combo that you could do. It's not like as much as a combo, but like say you open the engraver, whether it's by itself or like with your dino combo, you could just like start with this to add the tract, and tract, add Larry, discard, special, blink 1, where is it, Requiem, And Requiem effect. Summon another engraver from deck. Then you can use one of the engravers, engrave, shuffle back, use these two, go into the sequence, shuffle two back, for La Cremosa, bring this back, and then now you can either go into like a Caesar here, or you can use these three to make an Appaloosa. So I think with dinos, if you're just starting with this and you already have your dino combo, you could just like use these for Appaloosa, because this is gonna stop more cards that hurt you, like Ash, or even like another Veiler or whatever. The good thing about this, the Fiendsmith cards, is like these are gonna get hand trapped most likely anyway, so it can help make your dino plays more safe in general. But if you do get this far, you can make an Appaloosa or the Wave King. This card I think is better a lot of the time, just like as a disruption. Like if you're making this like later in the combo, I think this like solos more decks than Appaloosa does. But both are really good. And then you just do your dino combo from there. So now show like the main reason that I like these cards, which is how you can beat Dark Ruler with them. So just do Obi Baby. Before I get into this, actually, if you do decide to play like the wanted stuff with the evils, there's like a consideration to play like the small Snake Eyes package as well, just because it gives it a lot, just more with those cards that you're using. But like I said, it's kind of waiting for the ban list to see if like stuff like that's even worth playing, but it's definitely an option. And then if you do play the Doodle Stego, like the trap's not that bad, just because you can like chain this to something, and then you could chain the Desiree to negate like Dark Ruler, and then this can get you like a follow-up UCT, so it's not that bad. But like I said, I don't know if the Doodles are even really worth playing, but if they ever were, it'd be like in something like this. So yeah, just do Ovi plus Baby. This is gonna depend a lot on what type of deck you're playing, whether you're playing like the Nemesis stuff or whatever. So I'm just gonna kind of go in a general direction and then go from there. All right, so this combo is gonna be using the Nemesis cards, since I think that they generally flow better with the Fiendsmith stuff, since those cards can generate you extra bodies as well. Whether it's just randomly drawing like a Nemesis, like the flag, or like through your combo, you just end up with a lot more extra bodies, so it ends up helping out. So start off doing like the normal dino stuff. Spanish pop, summon Ovi, pop Baby, bring back the other one, maybe some Kaido from deck. So if you want to play around Nib here, you want to use the Archosaur and the Baby to go into the Closed Moon into the Fiendsmith line, so you can set up Appaloosa before you commit to your Banshee. But if you want to play around like Dark Ruler and Droplet, then we're going to go a different route, which is what I'm going to show, and that is going to go into the Banshee. Banshee, detach, add flag, summon flag, put Misk back to deck, add flag, search the corridor. So from here, you can make these two off to Closed Moon, this combo gets like a little complicated to do like everything that you need to do, but we're gonna get there. So I'm gonna use the moon to go into Requiem, and then you might want to use the pill before to just kind of make sure that we have all the board space that we need. Yeah, let's just do it the other way first and see where it goes. The Requiem to Special Engraver. We can, yeah, we're gonna go back actually. We're gonna use the pill now to get the extra bodies first. We're gonna banish these two. So then your CT, and then this comes back, and then since you have a flag on field, the Banshee also comes back. So what we need to do for this combo is we're gonna end up using the moon, shuffling it back, and then summoning it again. So from here, now we can like go off to Requiem. Since the moon doesn't have any zones pointing down, we wanted to get these. All right, I'm gonna put this over here actually because we're gonna like these two off. This is where we're gonna make an SP, and we're just gonna banish something so we have it banished for later. Another way that you could play around the Dark Ruler is you could go for the rabbit at some point and then have the rabbit set you the trap. That combo is going to be a little different from this one, but there's definitely a way to do it. It's just like a much different sequencing, but this is like another good option for sure, especially like if you just end up with just random bodies after getting hand trapped. This is a good thing to just make, but this is going to be showing something a little different that's a little more complicated. But yeah, so from here we can use our engraver now, or a Requiem Summon Engraver, and then I think we're gonna use Requiem to equip, and we're gonna use these two to go into Necro Equip. Then we're going to use Engraver to shuffle back the moon, and then that's going to special itself. Now we can overlay these two for a Beatrice. Then we're going to Beatrice, detach the Engraver, and then we're going to dump a Black Olaf. So try to make some more space here. So this card, when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it and then declare a monster card name, and then during that turn, neither player can activate the effects of monsters on the field with that name. So this is a really just good card in general to have in the grave. So if your opponent uses Dark Ruler on you, you can chain this and then chain your Desiree when we get to that later. But like Beatrice dumping this is one of like the better things you can do to get something live that can be chained to the Dark Ruler, in addition to the rabbit like I showed. But yeah, from here, now we want to get back into the moon that we put back so we can use sequence. So here we're just gonna link these two off to go into the moon again. And then I think we're gonna keep the SP on field. And use the moon and the baby to go into sequence. So sequence, now that we have 3 light fiends with the moon, the engraver, and the Requiem, we can shuffle all 3 of these back to make the Desiree. So this is the card it's pretty much like Lars, except you can actually chain it to your own card effects, so you can actually use it to beat cards like Dark Ruler. And later in the combo, we're going to equip this to it, so this is technically 2 negates, but you only get to use the effect once, so you can use it to negate 2 things at once, but you can't like negate one thing and then negate another thing after. But that's usually all you really need. So from here, I think we're pretty much done. We're just gonna use these two to go into Appaloosa. And then use the sequence to equip to this. And then now we can special summon the Corridor, putting back the Hovi to deck, and then Corridor to go into the Colossus. So your board here is an Omni Negate, Colossus, which is the Floodgate on legs, 2 monster negates, UCT. Then you have the Black Coat Engrave. So if they Dark Ruler you, you chain Black Coat, call anything, and then Desiree to negate the Dark Ruler. So it's a cool thing you can do. There's a lot of different routes you can take in order to like set this up with different end boards depending on what you play, but this is just like using the Nemesis card since I like using these cards. But yeah, hopefully this video kind of just showed you like some of the basic things that the Fiendsmith cards allow you to do. I'm fully expecting Beatrice to be banned on the next ban list in a few weeks, so how good this engine is in the deck is when that card's banned, I'm not sure. I still think it's probably good, even though it's no longer like a consistency tool, but we'll just have to see if how they decide to hit it. But yeah, like I think that Appaloosa, the Closed Moon, and the Beatrice, like there's an argument for all 3 of these cards to be banned. I think it should happen, but I don't think it will happen. I think that Beatrice is the only one that's probably gonna get banned. But yeah, that's it for this video. Probably not gonna do a deck profile for like Fiendsmith stuff since I don't have the cards, but I could do it with proxies, but I don't think there's, I mean, I feel like this is like enough to kind of give you an idea how it's supposed to work. And then like if you're gonna play it, just play 3 Engraver, 1 Tractus, 1 Lurie, and then the extra deck cards, and then go from there. But if you guys want to see a profile for it, I could do it with proxies, but if there's enough interest. But I feel like a lot of Dino players probably can't even afford these cards to begin with, so but yeah, if that's something you guys want to see, let me know and I can do it. One last thing before get off this, the Kashtira cards I think also work really well with the Fiendsmiths, since these are just extra bodies to go into the Closed Moon, and these cards are just like good in the deck in general. So I think playing like a nice cash package with the Fiendsmith package helps kind of just give you good engines to put with the Dino deck to give you just extra consistency and power when your Dino cards aren't resolving. So definitely recommend if you do try it, play like the cash package with like 2 of these, terraforming, and then these to go with the Fiendsmith stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be it for this video. Hope you learned something. Take care, peace.